And welcome to this video tour of our project at Atonement Lutheran Church in Plano, Texas. They're located at 4412 Legacy Drive in Plano. We're looking here at the front elevation, and I want to point out a few things. The Lutheran Church had a series of churches that were all built on the same plans, and this one is interesting because the front door is right here, and you'll notice that it's concealed. You can only see it when you come in from the side. And this was a really tragic mistake. You'll also notice that there's no transparency here. There's no glass. So think about what this building is saying to you as a potential visitor or as a driving up visitor. It's kind of looking like a private club. The building's not really saying, hey, glad you're here, come on in. It's kind of saying, who invited you to come? And so here's this amazing, vibrant, young Lutheran church struggling with this building that kind of is telling guests, maybe you shouldn't come in here. And so they employed us to do some master planning and see what we could do. Interestingly, this building was not well built. It was kind of a residential scale, and the church was very open, but that if it could be afforded, they would love to get rid of this building. So here is that existing phase one, and this is as it appears in the master plan, but you can see that here, proposed fellowship, this was their worship. They had all their classrooms, all of their administrative restrooms. So to replace all of that is very difficult. Also, to tear this building down puts you out of business for a full 10 months of construction. So very, very difficult. We did look at it. We were not able to afford the amount of new construction necessary to completely tear this down and provide for the growth that they were already experiencing. So unfortunately, the plan didn't allow us to build in front. There's no room here for another building, and so we were forced to build behind. And so you see here that we did not attach, because we've got to make sure that this building is further enough back that we can have all of our parking in the front, or a lot of it in the front, and have a main entry. And we really wanted to fix this issue of entry and really project open, transparent, welcoming entry. And unfortunately, we've got to get one more phase built before we can tear down this old building, but we're getting there. So you see here, the new structure is basically a gathering space with a coffee and a small kitchen support area, men's and women's, and the sanctuary. It's very lean and mean. What they needed was more worship space. And you can see the size increase from this old sanctuary to this one. And they're going to be somewhere between 200 and 244 seats in a gathered around situation with the sacristy and vestry. Very conventional sanctuary. But as you'll see as we get into the design, this is anything but a conventional design. As we get ready to look at phase two of the master plan, so you see the existing building here in the blue. We've built phase one, and now be looking, because as I flip the screen, phase one is going to be demolished, and we're going to build the rest of phase two down around the southern part down here. So here we go, flipping to the master plan. There we go. This is where phase one was out here, and look at all that glorious parking. So we want to park up front. We don't want to be a church where people are coming in from every angle, surprising us. We want the majority of our members and guests to come in, and looky here. Big, open, glass, double doors, projecting. Come in, come in, come in. Immediately walking into the smells of coffee, ample restrooms, and right into the sanctuary. Now, as we add on, the rest of the master plan is going to complete here with this covered activity area, a playground, so that after worship you can come out and fellowship in the covered area and watch the kids play for extended fellowship. Here you've got crib, pre-K, 1st through 2nd, 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th, 7th and 8th classrooms. You've got a cry room, video storage, and then a very nice fellowship hall with a kitchen here. So it's a very nice master plan. They use up every bit of space they've got. Of course, the fire lane for the fire marshal, but mostly we were loving that parking and that entry. So we'll walk through the actual photographs of the built solution. And you can see here, we've got this existing building to the right that we're trying not to show, but this is an entry off the new parking that comes into this entry. And it'll be glorious when we can display this to the street and really project that transparency and welcome. But we wanted to slip some elements up above the existing building. And so we've got a really amazing little cross tower, very economic, but gets the cross up there. It's lit beautifully at night, and you can see this entry module. As we move on up, we see looking up to the cross as you're about ready to move inside. It just really makes a strong proclamation about what this building is about what this group is about, and they really like that. And you can see the cross against that Texas blue sky with the white clouds is really gorgeous. This tile, the block that we used here, is a striated. It's very beautiful. In the Texas sunlight, it shadows very beautifully. The whole element is very simple but very powerful. Here we are, just stepped inside the doors, and you see a little coffee element. That updated as we went along. They opted to maximize their available square footage, and I think that was a good call. Not to get too carried away with coffee service, make that fairly simple. They've got announcements here. You see the Edison bulbs. Just painted white ceiling. We really like that. We don't always want to paint the ceiling black. And so in this case, we painted it white, and it came out absolutely wonderful. You can see the luxury vinyl floor, which is a great solution for a church, a great backsplash here. It's really got a lot of dressed up elements. It's a very progressive, edgy building for a young Lutheran church that's looking for a look that says, hey, we're not stuck in the 1960s. This church is moving on, getting younger, and highly vibrant. And I think we really captured a great look working with them. Here we are on the side that's looking into the sanctuary, and you see a lot of transparency into worship. We're going to use this gathering space as cry room, overflow. On Easter and Christmas, of course, it's just going to overflow beautifully back here. We've got speakers, full sound, so that we can make absolute maximum use out of this gathering space. So we step into the sanctuary. This is a wow sanctuary, isn't it? Now, this is going to be way too bold for a lot of our clients. But for this church, edgy, pushing it. These beams coming across are LED lit, uplit, and they have a variety of looks they can get with that. Strong visuals. Now look at this. This is an early reflector on both sides because the opportunity for choir, handbells, youth choir on both sides. And so they're really set up so on the big services, they can have full handbells, full adult choir, full youth choir. But look here, in a big space, the choir a lot of times struggles to get useful early reflections. A useful early reflection is the difference between singing in the shower, when the shower brings your voice back to you and makes you feel cuddled and warm, and everyone sings good in the shower, but you go sing at the middle of a soccer field and you can really struggle. And so this building is giving the choir the shower experience. This glass panel allows the sound waves to come right off. They get early reflections off the hard floor and off the top, and it's creating an old school band shell. It makes the choir very powerful, allows them to sing without electronic amplification and really fill the space. And so that's a neat element that we really like. These LED lights are great. Look at the clear story lighting. Mid-level and high, and the light in this space is just beautiful. They've got a really comfortable chair. Of course, a lot of discussion on whether or not they would want to use a pew or a chair. Opted for the chair, and I don't think they would ever look back. Custom designed pulpit furniture and a stained glass window that the church had arranged for this space. It's a powerful space, I'll tell you. Here we are from a side view. You get the tremendous light quality coming into this. And you know, the budget was dictating that we didn't have the money for those clear story windows at the top. And we just kept keeping hope alive. And as we got right down to the wire, they were ahead on their giving, and we had it, and we were so glad we hadn't eliminated it. Just worked out fantastic. Here we are, the back wall. This is some acoustical shaping. And what this does is takes sound that bounces off the floor and bounces up here. This can be very problematic. And so you want to reflect that sound right back down to the floor, to the people where it can be absorbed. This space has a pipe organ, and it's dialed in pretty lively. It's acoustically lively. And that really makes for some great congregational singing, some great pipe organ, some great music. A lot of spaces are getting so dulled down acoustically that you can't sing. Again, it's back to the middle of the soccer field. So this room is designed to make this congregation sound wonderful as they worship together. Here we are focused in on that main window. That's a very dramatic window. The columns are designed to increase the feel of verticality, as in the height of the space. This space feels tall, and it's designed to feel tall. This is back to a resurrection theme. Really mounts up nice, and it's just a powerful space to be in. Here we are looking again at the side with the windows, the light quality, the piano up front, the way the instruments are arranged, and the singers and handbells use this space. It's just a very wide, flexible space. One of the things we looked at was on big services, they tend to have all their choirs and handbells, and how do you make that work? And so these side extensions of the pulpit become really, really critical for them. Another space you can see here, they've got the red hue behind the beams turned on. They've got any color, millions of colors. They can bring that in subtle. They can pump it out just a beautiful white crisp line. It's very, very unique. They do not have the lights up here on the beams turned on, but they also coordinate and create an amazing effect. And the restrooms in this are really dialed in. One of the things that we love to do is light your face. When you go in the restroom, a lot of times restrooms have overhead lighting that makes you look kind of ghoulish. These mirrors are lit, and we love that. It makes you look amazing, lets you check your look in the mirror. Some specialty lighting, and look at this glass coming in. Really bright, amazing restroom space. And now we're looking back toward the front doors, and we see some special design lighting hung at oblique angles, and just really, really fun. A little bit difficult in this picture, but in the space, it is just very fun. You know the moment you walk in that you're in for a very, very fresh worship experience, which is what we wanted to project for this church. And around the back side, this is the beginning of that exterior play area. Quite honestly, they wouldn't have done that budget allowing. They would have expanded their gathering space, but budget just didn't allow. And so we were able to give them what has become one of their favorite assets, this covered deep Texas shaded porch. And they've actually got more furniture out there now, and they're using this space and loving it, and just so glad that circumstances kind of pushed them that direction. And we come back around to the master plan. And so thanks for taking the time to take this tour. If you've got any questions, be sure to reach out. I'd love to talk to you more about it. And if we can help you out, be sure to reach out to us. Thanks for your time.